Hello. Either Nadine, either Lep, either Juno. Shiny day, welcome in. Shiny day to anyone else who might be lurking. Yeah, Firefox is great until you have to do anything. And then it just doesn't work. Hello, shiny day. It's a real shame, but such is life. Today could potentially be the last couple of thumbnails that I make for Secret Sleepover. Julia's due date is in 3 days. So we'll see how this week goes. She said she wanted to do an extra stream today for blueprints. I don't think that's gonna interfere with my stream, because she usually, when she does a bonus stream, it's usually at like 3 p.m. Eastern. And by that time, I should be done. If I'm not done by then, I probably should do better. We have just 2 thumbnails to make today, so it should be a pretty standard stream. Unless I decide to do something crazy, which not out of the question. I'm hoping everything works. I have my setup a little different. The camera is connected directly like it did last stream, but the video feed of the screen and my audio is going through the network through different protocols. So hopefully it works just fine. We'll see. Let's jump right into it. Yeah, I've been using Brave as my default browser because it's Chromium still. But it has like a built-in ad and tracker blocker. It's compatible with all Chrome extensions. It does have some crypto stuff and some AI stuff in it. Luckily, you can disable it, pretty much all of it, and not have to worry about it at all. So, yeah, dude. So that's an option. Funnily enough, Edge, just fine these days. Unless you want to avoid Microsoft, which understandably you would, with how everything goes. But I use Edge to have my different accounts open on different browsers. So all the SSL stuff I do it on Edge, and then all my stuff I do it on Brave. The only thing I haven't been happy about is the default search engine on Brave. Yeah, it's because they have their own indexing. So the way should just scrub through this while I talk. The way most search engines work is that they either ping Bing or Google for the search results. And Brave has its own indexing, so it's not as comprehensive as Google's or Microsoft's search engines, but it is its own independent thing, which is pretty nice. DuckDuckGo is great. I really do like DuckDuckGo. It does use Bing for its search, so sometimes you don't get the most useful result, but it doesn't get in the way, which is what I want for my search engines. I just very specifically wanted to stop using Chrome. Yeah, same. I've been avoiding Chrome as much as I can. And I know that using Chromium is not getting terribly away from Google, but Chromium is open source. So you can modify it to not be as tied to Google as a Chrome would be. You're a fan of Vivaldi? I haven't tried it yet. Hi Patrick, shiny day. There's someone who's trying to make another browser called, I think they just called it Waterfox or something like that. That I think it's trying to not be based on other browsers, but I don't know how far along development that is. Bonbon, hello. Shiny day. Should get a couple pictures of them smiling. You were just searching for alternative browsers yesterday. It's a struggle. There's less options than one might hope there are. Unless you're a gamer, and then you choose the browser for gamers, Opera GX. Until it's April 1st and they put a streamer on the homepage. Something that actually happened, in case you think I'm just joking. You assume it was a real thing because I don't make things up like that on the spot really well. Was too specific. Sometimes I get a couple of good ones. I was gonna say let me scroll through my notebook. I don't think that's the right word. I think flip is the word that I was looking for there. My notes for this one are be here, dangerousy, hip and moo. I don't know what that means. You were talking about my Firefly business on Sunday? Did anyone feel interest in my business? the opposite? People are just not visionaries. You know, if I were any better of an artist, I would attempt to draw Jacob and Julia as Muppets. Because of some of the sections in this game. Maybe I'll give it a go. Give me a hands up next time, you'll gladly draw a Muppet thumbnail. I do have a base to go off of, so maybe I'll just modify those. I love that the Firefly business is my bit, but you're the one who keeps coming up with it because you're so mad about it. I got a lot of real estate from that bit. I have business degree. I know business. This is incredibly poorly thought out. That's what you say. How am I going to catch the fireflies? I've told you, I'm just gonna lure them into a jar. We've had many conversations about this business idea. I think I've explained myself pretty well. Your mom keeps coming up with businesses. Your friends are always like, what is her new idea this week? Her newest idea is just teaching a kid's cooking class. That's honestly pretty doable. In fact, in some parts of the world, that is part of the curriculum. I know of some places, I forget where, I wish I could tell you where, but I've seen reports of places that have like life skill classes. Pretty handy. A couple people have taken those. Nice. You made a pretzel? Hell yeah. Cooking wasn't mandatory there. You were too busy learning every single science and almost every single art. Most of my classes were pretty close to that, yeah. There we go. The only optional thing you had was French. We didn't have any optional classes. So the way the schooling system worked in Chile, elementary, or what would be elementary and middle school, because we have grades 1 through 8 as elementary. Although I think that's changed. Now it's 1 through 6, and then 7 through 12 is high school. I don't know if they changed that yet. Elementary, you get a whole day of classes from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then technically after 4 p.m. there should be some extracurricular activities, but they didn't have any available. So you just went home. Let's check the other section. Oh, I do want to take a screenshot of the dog. Could come in handy. Alright, let's see here. Let's see what can we do. Kind of like this one, to be honest. Can I zoom in? I discovered why. Well, I didn't discover why, but I discovered what was causing my scrolling to not work. Apparently, if you have right mouse button binded to the stylus, some things just not work. It's an extremely good bug to have. I never got an aptitude test. Oh no, it's broken again. I thought I fixed it. No, dude. I was just talking about how I fixed it, and now I didn't. Damn it. Yeah. I'm moving to XP pen. Fuck you. I really want it to be there. Can I get in painting to do my job for me? Not really. Ah, that's good enough. It just looks like the printing on the tablecloth is a bit fucked. And there's also this extra guy for no reason. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna grab actually select sample color. Wow, that doesn't help me at all. Cool. Lasso tool it is then. Okay. That's pretty good. That didn't work how I wanted it. those shapes. Call that in. Can you work, please? So the idea being that I do adjustment, hue saturation. Make him look a little paler. Actually, let's grab this color and shift it. That looks awful. I'm just going to keep him blue. You can get an H string from Shao. That's a crazy way to start, if you do. Okay, let's actually find a way to turn these Muppets into Jacob and Julia, which might only be a case of changing the hair. The rest of you are so impressive, being able to continue a thought, you're still fully stuck on someone telling Juno a French kiss is a blowjob. You can kiss people however you want. I want to start it. I was gonna say I'm gonna start calling it a Juno kiss. Vaguely resembling Kuno's name. I too don't do that. Don't worry, I'll forget immediately by the end of the stream. New state, draw. Just put the Muppets in Jacob and Julia's seat in the office. That's a great idea. I'll do it once I realize that I'm not good enough to newsday these Muppets. Let me waste my time for a little bit. I'm gonna grab a dark orange. Like so. Although I not have pressure sensitivity? Oh, I do. Okay, cool. What am I upset about? The French? I don't remember having any beef with the French, but maybe I do. In this case, it would be beef about having beef with the French. Oh. I see. Didn't like you saying you the French like 2 years ago and you have no idea why you retain that because you have anxiety. And are extremely sensitive to rejection. Go on, color picker. Work with me here, thank you. Yeah, that's Jacob. I do need to remove this bit here. Because it's going to be confusing if I don't. Your belief is that the French suck unless they are your friend, then they're cool and awesome. That's fair. Pavel, hello, shiny day. If there's one thing that I would criticize about France is that they are responsible for capitalism. And that's pretty bad. Care to elaborate? France started the Industrial Revolution, which led to businesses growing, which led to capitalism. Actually, it might not have been France, but I'm pinning it on France because they destroyed monarchy. Let's get a lighter tone for Julia's hair. What does blonde hair even look like? Interweb says it's Britain, but it's Britain, so of course they would claim it. Honestly, I just need to give it... How the fuck do you draw a ponytail? That's a finger. Am I done making thumbnails for SSS? Not yet. It may not look like it, but this is one of them. I actually like the dirty acrylic brush for this. It is just circle with a little squiggle on it. Very fucked up looking Jacob, but it doesn't look like Jacob Trophy. Good. Erase too much. I'd love it if I could zoom in with my dial. Let's get these colors right. Their own news. Julia's Newsday no longer has a ponytail. Well, then how do you explain this? It's right there. I don't think that's gonna work. Trust Rafi to be incredibly forgetful about their Twitch setup. Yeah. I imagine Jacob just doesn't want to make another animation. And I don't blame him. It's just the blueprints, the thumbnail after this? Yeah. Man, I really wish I had that empty room image. So I could just plop them there. But I don't, because I haven't made any attempt at getting a render done of that. Can you be on the right layer? I mean, that the gamey looks like a butt now. I was watching a Ben Jordan video yesterday about sound spying technology, and there's a segment where he talks about microphone polarities, and said that one of them was a butt. There's another one that was balls. There's another one that was butts farting. Which honestly, not wrong. I did watch Sam's inspiration tab video. It was pretty interesting. I like his approach on it and how, you know, inspiration is a pretty human thing. For as much flack as Corridor gets for the shit that they do sometimes, they do have some decent takes on the creativity process. How do I make this more Julia? I do want to add like the bangs, but I mean, that's pretty good. PBS blanket. I'll have to remove that so it makes sense. Moon, hello. PBS weather. That's all I wanted. What? Does the internet not know what PBS is? Why am I getting everything but? Okay, doesn't know what PBS is. Just a bunch of sweaters that say PBS. And Mr. Rogers. Well, then it's just gonna stay that way. I don't need that anymore. Or, well, maybe I do. Leave it. Get rid of that, and let's find an interesting blending mode for this. Kind of like either hard mix or vivid lights. I think I'm going to stick with hard mix. Y'all are getting really interesting quotes today. Sorry to inform you that it looks like a floppy yellow dick. There's not much I can do about that. If I draw anything in this shape, it's gonna look like a dick if you're a pervert. What do you want me to do? I guess I could make it less bulbous. Is that less dick-shaped? Or just gonna tell me that it looks like a pointy dick. Oh, you were actually in the Windy City. I see. I thought it was a figure of speech. You won't comment about dick-looking things again? No, that's fine. I have the unfortunate habit of drawing things that look like dicks surprisingly often, so I do need to be told. Some of you may not have been around when it happened, but I tried to upload one of my designs to Redbubble and it didn't let me because it told me that it was sensitive content or something like that, or inappropriate content. Let me see if I can pull up the image. Not here. I think it was... Oh fuck, which one was it? I think it was this image. That Redbubble, well, not this image in particular, I think it was a slightly different one. But Redbubble was like, no, that's inappropriate, you can't upload that. Alright, sure, whatever. But the image with the literal word fuck in it was fine. What's that supposed to look like other than a bird? I have no idea. Redbubble just didn't want my shit. Not the first time that I try to enter a platform and they tell me, no, you're actually not, we're not going to take your business. That doesn't look like a take you into use, certified pervert. Thank you. I was very shocked when I received those emails. Okay, I need to stop fucking around. And I'm just gonna say that this is good. Is it actually? Could probably do better. Kinda really want to put the regular SSS background on this, but I can try. If I need to, okay, let's do this properly, Khaz. Why is the spacing on this so big? Excuse me? Oh, this is the background eraser, not the regular eraser. Might be able to get away with it. But I need to damn it. Do it this way. No, it's not gonna work. Just gotta group that, and then group you. So I can modify you independently. Take it right there. Do this. And then maybe I can just eliminate a couple parts of the image and not have to do the whole thing from scratch. If I just paint this wall, like so. It's a little too rough of a separation, so maybe let's do a bit of this. And the same on this side. Let's paint over Jacob there. We need to paint over the arm. Just gonna blob some paint and worry about it later. Which is how I usually paint. Actually, even that doesn't look terrible. Let's do some shadow mixing here. A bit like that. Is that anything? I mean, at least it's a bit more recognizable than the nothing background that I had before. And then instead of doing it like this with the eye, I can do this and do a live filter, perspective, and just plonk you right on Julia's monitor. Have you behind them, not in the group. Not like that. Am I just gonna land on average again? I might. I will. Eyes in Julia's mouth. I think I want to make it a little bit more subtle. Y'all have been having wonderful conversations, and I'm glad I haven't been following along, and I apologize. Let's group these two together. Live filter, blur. And actually, we're going to add the eye to that. Cool. I think this is a thumbnail. It's certainly unique. Kind of give me that much. Scroll back and respond to every comment. That would take too long. And Patrick has places to go. This is Great God Grove. I'm gonna export it right away before I forget. Cool. Next one. Actually, for this next one, I have an idea, and it might not take terribly long. I just need to figure out the composition. Now your procrastination is on me. Good. I think that might be it until I find a different screenshot. Don't really care much about the gameplay view, to be honest. We've seen it all. There's nothing. There is freaking Alzara. Always being like, you're being watched. Classic pump room. Nothing to do here because the puzzle requires pieces that they didn't have. Why are you sleepy? You slept for 10 hours last night and then took a nap. You're like this cat. I only get sleepy when I have things to do, which is extremely unfortunate. Let's put the cat picture and the caption when the RNG gets you. It's gonna be my backup. In case I don't like how this goes. Cat picture, caption, don't worry, I wasn't shitting. Yeah. Or I could put the caption, when you rip a screamer. Would it make any sense? No, because that's not even something they said in that video. But if you're a true fan, you will know. You snorted your coffee reading that. Damn. I'm keeping an eye on the webcam view. For any funny faces. There is a part in this stream where Jacob melts. Also, this is a 3-hour video. Also, Julie spends 21 minutes in a puzzle. That's the vibes. Did they finish the game? Not even close. Also, this is not a game that they are gonna be able to finish. They do have an objective that they want to, that they're aiming for, and they want to roll credits. But this game is like easily in the 100 hours or more. There's a lot of game in this game. And a lot of it is due to not getting the combinations that you need to move forward. Trans had to DM you that you were incredibly wrong when you answered someone saying that Julia Long's stream wasn't likely. Yeah, she did say it like towards the end of pretty much at the end of the stream on Sunday, so I'm not surprised you didn't hear it. You still hold on to it being unlikely? Yeah. I mean, it would be fun, but I don't know if Julia will have it in her. I guess now that they are fully away from Trophy, they might have some extra time, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Julia will post on Blue Sky 5 minutes before going live. And then I'll post on YouTube and people will see it tomorrow. It's incredible that anyone at all gets the YouTube community posts the day I post them. The amount of times Julia sees saying she will never play again. Yeah. It's a game that will make you rage quit if it catches you in a bad mood. Which is easy to be in a bad mood when you are, as they said, deeply pregnant. Here's the room that I was looking for. This is kind of selling you on the game. I don't know if you would like it, because a lot of the things that help you progress this game are not tied to you at all. It's through no skill of your own. Should not look at the postcard. This is what I wanted. Cool. Cool. Oh, here's a nice view of the room without one of them. Screenshot that. Just for my own reference. New templates, blueprints. Remove that part. Remove this part. Oh, remove the eye. Well, there was never an eye here. Probably removed it by accident. That's fine. We don't need it. Look at me saving a thing to help me later. That's character growth. Yeah. Sometimes I learn. Let's grab this. What happened to copying and pasting? Directly from a selection. I was able to do that, and now I can't. Is it duplicate? It is duplicate. I just forgot which button it was. Let's grab my good buddy, the eraser. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Khaz, use technology. Use technology to your advantage. You can just grab Julia. And Jacob, kinda. Get the lasso tool and subtract. That's not what I wanted to do. Grab that corner, grab this edge, grab the rest of the arm. Grab the rest of Jacob. Wee. Like so. And now it's behind. Wasn't that so much easier? I do have the concern that this is not going to be readable enough. Since you rarely get to watch live anymore, these thumbnails, streams give you very silly clues that you get context for when you watch the VOD. That's essentially how I like to design the thumbnails. it poses a question that then gets answered when you watch the video. I wish I had an easy way to rotate right now, but I guess I don't. I'm gonna use some gray on a masking layer. To make the chairs slightly transparent. Because they do have mesh in them. Whoops. Hit my glass with the stylus. I feel like it could even be less. I should be closer to white. That's the bitch. I was just going the wrong way with my color. There we go. And then we grab the eye that I accidentally removed from this. Shrink you and put you right in the middle. Kind of want it like that, so I'm going to use my acrylic brush to remove the center spiral. So the eye fits better. Number up the top. Gonna flip horizontal so I can put this on this side. number goes there. Six. I think that does it. I'm a little concerned about the font because it's not the most readable one, even at slightly larger scales. Like if I make it really tiny, I guess it's fine. I don't want to modify this too much because I want it to be accurate to the thing that you actually find in the game. I could, for the sake of readability, another clipped layer here. Give it a little, actually, use technology Khaz. And then we do our own text. Right, does it never end? Okay, closer to the middle. A little higher. We shear it. And we add a perspective filter. So I can align it with the rest of the paper. Have this behind them. And have the text be in black. Black. I could have used the magnifying glass. You are correct. But that would run into the risk of adding too many elements to the thumbnail. And this is already kind of crowded. Not a bad idea though. Let's just go. Let's do classic gradient in the background. I really wish gradients were a little better in this. Because sort of once you set up the gradient, you can change it again. There's no gradient layer like in other pieces of software. to Jacob and Julia, we're going to add a levels correction layer. Just brightening it up. You hate that broken corner? This one over here? Yeah. It will bother quite a few people. Actually, I like it when the whole thing was brighter. Engagement. That's how I farm engagement. I draw thumbnails that people will hate. Or have typos in the title. Lowest level of rage baiting. Wait, is does it ever, not does it never. I think it says never. I'm pretty sure it says ever, but I could be wrong. It does say never. Damn. It's wrong. I guess never is just not ever, so whatever. But I feel like should just say ever. That's the wrong name. Where the hell are you? It is a correct sentence, I just don't like it. I think semantically it would be better to say ever. But grammatically it's correct. That's just me getting into the weeds. To weed. Never end feels more desperate to you. Interesting, because I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like ever gives it a sense of continuity that's longer than never. Because does it never end for me implies that you see that there is an end. Like there is a way out. Whereas does it ever end feel like you don't know if it can even be finished. They're just forever. That's just how I interpret it. Again, I'm not a native English speaker, so the way you interpret sentences will change. And again, this is semantics. Literally, no one cares. I mean, I care. I spent breath talking about it. I think that's gonna conclude the stream today. I don't want to overstay my welcome, and I do want to get a meal in if and when Julia decides, well, before Julia decides to stream, unless she's given birth, which could happen. You also speak English like a time traveler, so your word choices won't always be the modern way. No one speaks English the modern way unless you're 12. Blue Sky won't let you load SSS anymore? What? Well, that's a you problem. Does it never skip the Ohio? Well, I think I had just about enough today. I'll be back on Thursday with a stream that works. And then Sunday like normal. I will take a break once Jacob and Julia are on baby leave. I do think that's gonna be like a week or two after they start their baby leave. But because I'm banking on the fact that they're gonna be out for like a month. So yeah. And I do want to take like at least a week or two. At least a week, ideally two, for myself. I've yet to decide whether or not that would mean no streams or just less streams. I don't really feel the need that I should take a break away from everything, but oh, I burped. But I'll see how I feel. Think they might be out for more than a month? Yeah, I'm banking on at least a month. So yeah, that's the plan. Advent Khaz, you've been wonderful. Remember that you're very important to me, and remember semantics. Worcestershire.